All right, we're back.
All right, hey everybody, Mikey here. Today I wanted to go through a few Apple II selections with my co-host here, Tom Russo, who is stuck in traffic because he decided to try to leave late today. Karateka, which is one of my favorite games on the Apple II, or on all the systems actually, because it came out on everything from Commodore 64, Apple II, and Atari 800. And it was the first game that I ever seen that used rotoscoping, which is, for a lot of people who don't know what rotoscoping is, it was a process in which you would have people act out motions and you would trace them and use that as your animation. So like the woman here who's walking, Mariko, who is walking over into the prison here, that was someone acting it out and somebody drew over it. And somebody being Jordan Mechner, who is basically the guy behind all of this game here, the mastermind behind cinematic storytelling on the Apple II. And I think he did everything but the music. Hey, Ian, you joining?
You don't get to stream by yourself.
Aw, Ian's coming over.
Ian, did you get the best pretzels ever?
These are the best pretzels
No,
ever?
not those ones.
Those are old-time pretzels.
The sourdough nipples are the best ones. Anyway.
So what's really cool to me about Karateka, it is a fighting game, and your basic moves are you have high punch, mid punch, low punch, high kick, mid kick, low kick. You can run and walk. You have combat stance and running, basically, is what the run and walk is. And you have your hit points down at the bottom. And what was really, this game has so many innovations. Not only was it innovative in its presentation and cinematic pacing and everything that it had, but it also, in the health bars, instead of it being something that was very overt or a number on screen, Jordan decided to use these little chevrons, these little triangles, and you can, over time, they heal. So you start to gain health back if you can stay safe for a little while.
Cool.
Which is really cool. And then when you think about Apple II didn't have sprites or any sort of hardware that assisted the animation that you're seeing in here. This was all bitmap on an 8-bit computer that was very, very slow. I just recently talked about John Madden on the Apple II and how challenging it was to even get 22 players on the screen and moving on an Apple II at a time when, like, basically it's only meant to move a few things. So let's see here if I can get this started.
I like the, it's probably a dumb observation, but I like the anti-aliasing on the fonts.
Yeah, that's a side effect of the way it rendered color on the Apple II because it was using
it's not a
composite
purposeful
signals.
effect?
It's not it is and it isn't. It became purposeful, but it wasn't intended originally. It's the same thing as like EJ CGA graphics on a PC. So you know how you can combine color combinations to make an extra color?
Sure.
This kind of did that. And while this is an emulation of it, it's not as profound as if you were actually doing it on a real piece of hardware. The other thing that this game did too is speech synthesis, so you can hear them shout out things as they fight. So it did a lot. So you have these like kind of walk forward, walk back. You just move the joystick. You can.
You'll have to explain this to me like I'm a completely new player because I did play this when I was like 5 on a Commodore 64.
Yeah.
So
that's the first time I played it on a Commodore 64, and then I got into a fight with my friend Charles, who had an Apple II, and he's like, it was made for the Apple II. The Commodore 64 is a port. And I'm like, what's a port? It's on the Commodore 64. It was there first, whatever. And then I finally played it on the Apple II and realized, yeah, this does have it all. But the Commodore had more color. I'll give it that. Like, there's a way to bow. Oh, there we go. I could bow to my sensei. And I think the only place to really use that is here at the beginning because you can confront this guy who has no idea who you are.
Look at that helmet.
That helmet is awesome. So he has no idea who you are. He's working for a guy named Akuma who just burned down your village and stole your fiancé.
from Street Fighter, right?
Pretty much. Street Fighter ripped it off.
It just means demon. It's literally
exactly
the word for demon.
And so basically you're arriving here. Everybody just assumes you're dead. And these guys, there's going to be a wedding at some point, Bowser style. But you come over here and you're like,
I like
hey,
how
buddy.
Mike knows the Karateka story.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I read the book. Here we go. Hey, Glenn's here too.
Hey, Glenn's here.
Glenn, hop in. We got room here in the middle.
I'll join here and
It's going to be a digital clip sandwich.
This is when he's like, I was going to play my Switch.
I can still play my Switch while I watch. This is what I do at home. It's like on the couch. I just watch TV shows and play
Ian
Switch.
is not approved of that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't play your Switch if you're going to hang out on the stream.
Why?
Because we're talking and paying attention.
You're
and
ignoring the
engaging the chatting.
The audience who is very giving with their money for Extra Life today. Let's raise our funds for the Children's Hospital.
Nice.
So this guy still has no idea. He's like, okay, I'm just going to keep bowing. I'm like,
Hi.
hello, hi.
He'll bow as long as you...
Bow to your sensei, bow to your sensei. Okay, you can go up
Does it
here.
go forever?
He will. Oh, no, not anymore. Okay, he's going to go to fighting stance. If I would have kept running, he would have snapped my neck and killed me. That's one of the interesting things in this game is like you basically can just die instantly if you're running and somebody does a critical strike to your head. And so it's good to remember because at the end of the game that plays a very critical role. Oh, man. Come on.
That you'll die instantly in the wrong scenarios.
Yeah, and this is one of those games where you have to anticipate moves rather than it's not really. You can see it's not high action because of the draw rate is really bad.
Can you guard?
You can't guard.
You just gotta punch.
Yeah, you move away, but I don't want to move away. I'll fall off the cliff.
Yeah, he's already pushed you too far back.
And so I can sit here and just get some kicks going.
Get on the offensive, Mike.
There we go.
There he
Yeah, I like that stance that he does there. Like it's just why was it there? Just because. Look,
Was that
bow.
the first guy?
That's the first guy.
Man.
Are you going to play through this flawlessly today, Mike?
Flawlessly. Maybe. We'll see.
What is this running on?
Apple II.
Apple.
So this is at the time. This is high cinema in gaming.
Sure.
This is the
Cutscenes
Call of
were
Duty
not a
game.
common thing in games in this era.
No, not at all. It was like you had
We got
barely
perspective.
platformers. Yeah. In this animation, the story was Jordan Mechner was working on this Asteroids clone that he's very proud of in like Apple II high res. And see, it does a cutaway.
Cutaway to him.
Yep.
You run into him.
Oh, I gotta stop here. And he sent it into Broderbund, and they're like, oh, you know what? Like arcade games are not as interested anymore in those because now we're interested in games that have character, like Sewer Sam and all these other weird games that were they had character barely.
It's the 80s. Arcades are dead.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong had come out, and they're like, look, this Mario guy or Jumpman has a lot of character. Like we need something like that. So Jordan, who's like a film student, takes his game back, kind of sulks a little bit probably over like this game he's been working on for like 2 years, and comes up with the idea to do this. And he goes from this like game that looked like a couple triangles flying around in space with dots everywhere to this super cinematic combat game.
He's like, oh, you just wanted me to make something awesome? I'm sorry, I was just kind of making what everyone else
That's exactly it. It's like, hey, can you send something awesome to us next time? And so that's exactly what happened. And he did. This was like one of the most influential games.
And we all remember, Karateka guy.
Yeah.
The great character.
And we also remember our friends who would say Karateka and all that stuff. And I don't know if there's really a right way to say it. What is probably
So it's like karate, right?
Yeah.
The martial arts, and then ka, which is a
Karate
martial arts stance, I think.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, it's gibberish, but
So karate stance.
kind of
Karate
like
stance.
I have a
karate.
Yeah.
So the banding and stuff on the bottom,
That's what I
the
was-
lines, or whatever, is that the composite kind of?
Yes, so on early composite monitors, that would come across as a sort of like, if you squint your eyes, you can kind of see it. It's sort of an orangish
You
tone.
get more
Mix the blue and
blur.
orange.
It's supposed to mix the two, blur
Yeah.
them together.
Oh, okay.
It's a technique that,
To create
because
more
there's only
colors.
4 colors
Like-
really.
Squid. yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This
Just
guy
rub
looks-
Vaseline all over the screen.
This guy looks like Shredder.
We
He
should get a
does.
filter that does that.
So the body, this is also a really clever use of like reusing animation with some palette swaps, and he actually stored the animation of the body without heads, and just swapped heads.
I do that sometimes.
Now, are you making it look easier? Because it seems like you're kicking ass.
I've played this game so much that it's
Okay.
almost like muscle
Oh, but
memory.
now he
Oh,
has
now
more
he's a
health than
stormtrooper.
you.
He does.
So you started like
So
wherever you
what
were.
happens if your health exceeds his health because they meet in the middle?
Yeah.
It won't go past it.
He looked like he
So
filled,
you might have more health, but you just can't see it.
Yeah. Oh, the nut shot. That's one of the best moves in the game.
I think it almost seemed like his health like matched whatever your health was.
Yeah, it'll
So-
meet up. Whenever it's like a sort of tug of war of sorts. Like if you get him down, you earn more health than he has. You will
He
take
can't
up the space,
get
and
back.
you can't get it back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you generally earn at the same rate. So
Nice pose.
The pitch-
yeah, he's
Pit
like,
check.
oh man, yeah, pit check. Axe buttons. I gotta get through here before another guy shows up. There we go. Now it's loading.
Oh, so if you had hung out too long, you just have
Another
to keep
guy
fighting
would show up.
another
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Interesting.
So most
Not
of the time,
traditional level, like yeah.
yeah.
And there's depth to it.
Oh, she knows somebody's coming.
She could hear you.
She felt a disturbance in the force.
Yeah. This guy's already here.
So what are the moves that you're doing? Like, so it's just a punch and kick?
Yep, punch and kick, high, medium, and low.
Okay.
On both.
Oh, okay.
So you can mix it up, and there's a way to get. You can usually get like 3 moves off before you kind of reset. So here I am kicking,
Right.
and then he comes down to get ready for another round of kicks because he can't just keep going like.
So you have sequences
Can you
of
go
3.
like mid, low, high or something?
You can, and there's actually some combinations you rarely pull off where you can kind of get 4 out instead of 3, which is
Is that a
pretty
bug
awesome.
or is it intentional?
I don't know if it's intentional. It's probably a bug, but it's awesome. You could take advantage of it. I used to be good at figuring out how to get it to happen, and I can't explain to you or anything. It was just like a thing you
Just
felt.
like you feel it.
Yeah, you feel it. As you're pressing the button, you're like, okay, I got the 4. I'm going to go in for it. Like, I know to move forward on this guy before his animation starts so I can get these punches in. You don't learn that until you've played the game probably way too much.
I also like they're using that orange and blue palette, the super movie, like perfect balance, harmony colors.
It's great.
Yeah.
And Jordan is like a film aficionado.
Sure,
He did all this on purpose. Like the music.
Well, do you force set colors or you can pick the 4 colors?
You have 4 set colors, but you have sets of colors. So there's like 4 sets of 4 colors or something like that, if I remember correctly. It's very much like CGA. So here's something interesting that happens: is like there's a pet bird that Akuma
That
has.
little toucan thing.
Yeah, or whatever it is. So you hear him, so you know he's coming, and you have to kick him, or if you get to time it just right, and I didn't, and he comes by and does his attack.
Oh man.
He'll do damage. Oh, he'll keep coming out if I don't.
Birds are the worst.
They are the worst.
Birds were messing me up yesterday in Castlevania.
Oh, they're terrible in Castlevania.
I watch you guys in Pitfall keep falling in that hole
Oh god.
because of that bird.
Yep, that buzzard. That
Long
game
road
was
to-
so hard.
That's the other theme of our games this stream is.
Look at this. I got a lot
Oh,
of.
that was a
Evil bird.
combo.
Yeah. What was that? Ian?
This is the other theme of our games for our extra live stream is evil birds.
Evil
Yeah.
birds.
Evil Bird Stream. I should put on Potty Pigeon for the Counter 64. Oh, here. Oh, I missed him again. Oh, he's coming out again? No. Okay, good.
I think the bird transformed into these guys. These guys are all like bird people. He's got the little ears, like he's like Owlman.
He's using his evil Demon King magic to transform his bird into Kung Fu warrior.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
It's like a
See, I can make up story for the game too, Mike.
Guillermo del Toro take on karate.
Hey, you got your shirt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
nice.
It's a little big, but not too big.
Oh,
so
nice.
it'll work.
I didn't even look at his shirt. What
I'm
shirt
wearing
is
my
it?
colors. It's the one that Glenn made for
That digital clips
Oh,
one
awesome.
for
Disney Afternoon
Yeah.
Collection.
Yeah, but it was they didn't want to print them
They were
because
fighting me for so long.
well,
It's funny. It turned out the link you sent me, which I sent to them, had the Disney logo in it. So it must have been like an old design. And then when you said like, here was our email exchange, I'm like, well, this is the last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a different logo. I'm like, oh, oops.
Sorry.
I guess just print that one.
oh man.
Yeah, we tried to make shirts with the Disney logo in it, and they didn't like that.
Right, the
Everybody's
one that we
afraid
were
of this.
using, the actual like game box logo. That's right. Well, it's that company. I think they have a strict policy because
I understand, they're covering their butts.
yeah, and I think they get a lot of like group print shirts, which are like people are come and say, "Oh, we're going to go to Disney and we want like 50 shirts that have Mickey on them," so we all know who we are.
Did anybody else get one of these, or is it just you
Nope,
and me?
just you and me.
Aw, that's too bad.
I need to
I
get
think
one.
it's a really great shirt.
Ian, I'm going to follow up with you on the process you did.
We're going to drive them crazy.
Like,
Just keep buying them like one at a time every 2 months.
That's how you avoid Disney litigation.
yeah.
Alright, so see this gate behind this guy? This is like my first hard lesson in gaming.
You have to get through it.
You have to get through it, but it closes on you if you try to walk through and kills you, like just harpoons you with its
It's just pure mean.
It's pure mean. So you gotta do this cool trick, and this could be a bad moment for me. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, trick the gate, and then it closes and then opens
Yeah,
up.
you gotta trick it. So you go. There we go.
That's so
Holy cow,
mean.
Tom did show up.
Tom's here.
Hey, we knew he was gonna make it.
Hey, Tom.
Man, time is irrelevant.
You gotta start walking now. Oh no!
Oh,
Whoa! Just made it through. The thing will come back down. Like you gotta start walking before it goes all the way out.
So it's just there purely to be a dick.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay.
it's called
Like-
a puzzle, Glenn.
It's a puzzle. it's
what
like
we
Ian's
game
favorite
designers
puzzle.
call
Those
puzzle
spikes, just the
All right,
the weight and go
Jeez, I'm
spikes.
sorry.
You
Is
ready,
this it?
you ready to
Just
jump in
standing
here,
up.
Tom?
Sure. Are you
Yeah, yeah. I'll step out, but you got to make sure you watch the chat and
case
engage
you have
with us
Call out
fans.
some questions.
How many people are watching right now?
It fluctuates.
7.
7.
Don't get in my way though, Tom. Jesus
During a
Christ.
critical
It's
moment.
Karateka. It's not, it's not Street Fighter.
That's right. It's better.
It is better. But you
All right,
can.
grab a beer.
Oh, we can have beers?
Yeah, you can have beer on. Well, no, you can't on the stream.
You can't on stream?
Nope.
Can I drink
Off screen, maybe.
You can have
water in a glass?
ginger ale.
Yeah, okay, I'll get some ginger ale.
I think you can.
I think now that I air quoted it though. Oh, Adam Amazing is watching.
Hey,
Excellent.
Adam.
Nice. He likes the shadow.
The shadow is cool, isn't it?
It does.
Like, look how much they use. How much you get with 4 colors.
Oh, you whooped that guy.
I've been kicking ass.
This is a family stream. You've been
I've
kicking
been
butt.
kicking buttocks.
Are you kicking the glutes?
I doubt anybody's family oriented other than Adam on the stream here.
His
Hi.
daughter might be in the room.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to drink beer on stream.
Is it? Just check the rules.
Just don't go like shit house.
Well, then why
You
do
mean
it?
poop housed, Bill?
I've been cursing.
This guy's helmet's pretty cool.
He's got like a blue face. He looks like
Why so blue?
I think that's Mo Sizlak under there
Most is lack.
from The Simpsons. It kind of looks like him on there. Hey,
You know, they've had every kind of Simpsons game. Bowling, like a brawler, but like they really don't have like Simpsons. They did have Simpsons wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what also seemed to like in the early days on like PC gaming or computer gaming, whatever.
Combo time.
There was always a karate game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
All right, the old
Nut
school.
shot. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. The old school '80s karate games had the best name too, like Way of the Exploding Fist.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day that like,
Another, yeah.
there hasn't been like a villain in a thing that everyone wants to be in the same way.
Yeah.
Like the kind of like team villains. Like, so I was seeing some Karate Kid thing. I was realizing the Cobra Kai costumes are almost more popular than Karate Kid. No one wants to be Karate Kid.
Nobody wants to do the crane. Like,
No, yeah, exactly.
They want to kill the kid who does the crane.
Yeah, you want the leather jacket, with the cool cobra on the back.
Cobra Kai was pretty awesome. And the revelation when you saw the movie Dodgeball, that comedy, you realize that like Average Joe's versus Cobra was like G.I. Joe.
Right.
They have the Cobra Kai colors and everything. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That's true comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Has G.I. Joe made much of a
Come on,
comeback
Mike.
ever?
You haven't punched him in the face once.
You can't get him in the
that
face.
helmet looks so nice though.
It's not gonna hurt your hand.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
When do you get your costume?
Yeah, the G.I. Joe movies tanked pretty bad. Well, I think they reviewed at least horrible.
Yeah, no, those were bad.
Yeah.
I feel like
I read the script to that before they shot it. I'm like, why are they making this? This is terrible.
I think you can see the cartoons again, right?
And the Commodore 64 game.
Yeah,
Oh, it's,
Oh, there we go.
we had a pretty badass DS game.
Akuma.
That's right. We did a G.I. Joe game.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I think it,
was
used
probably
the
better
Gauntlet
than the
engine.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was like we had this fully functional, like top-down action engine that we hadn't used or anything. So
Oh, Adam asked, does the health only fill during a fight? It's at the end of every fight.
Well, it's always trying to fill, so you can always back off and have the health refill.
but when you were standing around, can you like let it link? You know, like
Yeah,
you knock
you
a guy
can.
down.
You
Oh,
can-
but new guys spawn,
you
so you
guys
don't
will
want to
spawn
like.
eventually.
sit.
Yeah, and there's a maximum it will give you in certain situations
Yeah.
for some reason. That one I don't
And
understand.
look, this guy you're fighting right now has a huge number of triangles.
Somebody mentioning G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we summoned Jeff with the mere mention of G.I. Joe. You said G.I. Joe? Somebody want to borrow his tank?
Also, Ian was saying you're ignoring the chat.
I just realized, I just looked and I just.
Tom's
did it,
new to
yeah.
this.
It's really,
That's what
it's
the
really
kids
not
do.
that much chat. Since it's Adam. Adam asked a question, we did get around to answering it.
There we go. Man, I'm kicking ass.
I think Akuma really needs a new decorator. Like all these rooms look the same.
You mean beautiful?
Yes. Minimalist.
Minimalist.
This is how we should do The Office.
You can
Yeah, just all black walls with some glowing doors.
If we did
Just like a
composite blending floors.
Yeah,
like that.
composite blended. Oh, this
Oh,
freaking bird!
Our
Forgot.
whole office has giant stripes running through it. They all like
I hate
cut
this
it.
bird.
High attacks,
Probably
Mike.
90s.
High
It's a
attacks. High
full-color
attacks.
office.
And people are
Ah.
coming like, no, just squint. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's orange.
Why do you have
Think
those
for color.
orange?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Low.
squint your eyes.
Nice. There you go.
Gotta get my groove here.
See, Adam. Now you'll see that
Oh no, not
this
quite.
was the hardest part of the game. So they gave you all the triangles, and they only gave the bird
That bird
4.
really likes your crotch.
So now that's a mid punch. Oh, is it all kicks?
yeah.
Or does
Well,
it
you
take
can do punches too, but it's always harder to do punches.
I would pay good money to see that in a movie.
Punching a bird or
Like
kicking a bird.
kicking a bird in the face as he attacks you.
just get
Oh,
I-
nice high kick.
The first time I played this game, it took me 2 days to beat the bird, and Mike just did it.
Boom! Look at
Oh,
that
that was nice.
explosion
That was
of
a good
feathers.
explosion.
I remember spending a whole
That's
day
loading.
trying to beat the bird. 'Cause then he'd kill you, and you have to go all the way back through the game.
How do you know it's loading?
Can't do anything, and that's
Oh.
the drive accessing.
Yeah.
Look at it. It took health away because it's like you don't need that.
You shouldn't
health.
have done that well.
Yeah.
That was not really.
It's supposed to
ever
be somewhere
possible.
over here.
It's a challenge, Mike.
Mike,
Yeah.
are you teabagging that guy?
I was gonna see if I could, but. Oh, music just played. Something.
I would say you have no idea how far this game is going to take you, right? Like you're just.
Not at the time. Like you didn't know.
Uh-oh, here he comes. Don't run.
Oh, he's right there.
Oh!
I didn't mean to run. It's the analog stick.
I told you not to run.
Well, you can tell me
Tom
that.
did tell you.
You can
So
tell me that all
it-
you want. The end. Guess what? I'm gonna play it again. I don't care.
Now Tom, you should make Tom play.
Yeah.
No, because then we'll have to play it again and again and again.
What are you talking about? At least I would have known not to run through the door.
Try it, Tom. Let's see. Let's
I've
see
never
how you-
played it on this
Press-
futuristic
Oh,
joystick.
The excuses already started.
Yeah.
There's a caveat, sorry.
He didn't even get
Just
a
press the
single
A button
punch.
and-
Jordan
Wait it
Eckner!
The man, the myth, the
man.
legend. Press one of the buttons to start.
Karateka.
Yeah, it'll take a little while.
High atop a craggy cliff.
Was that Papyrus? I think I saw it.
No.
Why is it? I wanted the intro. There
The
it is.
Avatar font.
Avatar. It's better than Avatar. Glenn.
Yeah.
Way better.
If you've read the book on the journals of the making of Karateka by Jordan Eckner, you know that his father did this music.
If only the bird were a
Wow.
crane and I kicked it.
Yeah.
Adam, amazing. He does look like Ralph Macchio, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I like the Cylon eyes.
It's Anderson Cooper.
It's Anderson Cooper. That's Silver Fox.
All right, which one's punch and which one's kick? Okay. All right, I figured it. I already figured it out.
Okay.
I was wondering, in like this and Pitfall, were they considering these pixels at the time, or is I don't know where?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that
How old
that
the
term
term
that term's
pixel
one of
is.
the earliest terms, and so
Okay.
a picture element.
The picture element. Is
Yeah,
that
so
what-
something you can draw on screen was a picture element, and so how many picture elements you had,
Come on, come get
and
some.
so picture elements became pixels.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if it was like something that we think of from later generations
Oh,
that
I mean,
evolved,
think.
or if it.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with Tom's ability to fight.
Hey, I'm just getting warmed up, Jeff. Watch that. Triple
No.
fit punch, triple to the face.
So there was a new Karateka, and Mechner was involved a little bit, but there was another developer on it. And it was admirable, but like I felt it just didn't feel as cinematic or kind of unified as this. And I know I'm just like an old fart when it comes to these things, and I like the originals a lot and
Sure.
everything like that. But like this really is very cohesive in every way. Like the look and feel, the mountain in the back, everything feels very cohesive. A lot of the limitation gives to that, but I mean it's very nice. Like that, even that arch there looks really nice.
Well, it's distinctive, right?
Yeah.
You see one shot of this from anywhere, and it's kind of that, like you said about Wes Anderson. It's like
Yep.
you know instantly what this is. Like,
Yep.
there's not a like, what is this game, or
Exactly.
Where the new one I think had used Unreal or something, and so like
And all the characters look very different.
yeah, I think mechanically they followed all the systems
Yeah.
well, and so I think it did that, but
Stop,
end up-
stop.
Tom likes to be right in the action.
It's gonna be his undoing.
No, it isn't.
Tom's showing you his style.
Race Bannon. A cross between Ralph Macchio and Race Bannon. Yeah, I almost thought like I need my glasses because I'm like, is that Ray Romano that he's saying?
Yeah, I play a little of the new Karateka. I remember the bar. That's all I remember is the little arrows. I think it was one of those things where I didn't know this when I played
Yeah.
it, so I didn't really understand what I was like, what the goal was. It just felt like I was doing the same thing over and over
Yeah,
and
I'm
over
just gonna
again.
stand here and wait for this guy.
No, don't.
Bitch.
You wanna not have fight more people doing that.
I know, just to piss you
Oh,
off.
jeez.
I want to Smurf walk it too.
Smurf walk it. I don't think you're the Smurf in this situation.
It's true.
Man, Tom's like the guy who goes into a fight and just trades punches, you know, where they like stand there and they tie each other's hands and just, just like go.
That's how he is in bar fights.
That's how you have to be if you're in biz dev.
Do you have that Tom Russo?
You've been Russo.
You should do it every time he beats a guy.
Tom's gonna pull out like a flying kick you didn't even know existed.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
probably not on his computer.
Yeah.
You just got Russo.
Come on in. Oh, see that?
So this was like, what year was this? I wonder. Let me look this up. Because it's always fun to me to try to look at what the contemporary games were at the time.
Like what it was competing against.
Like what else were we looking at? Oh, I should probably tweet out that we're doing this too again.
See, I can just sit here and knock this guy back. I'll probably kill him first.
Yeah, you have an aggressive push. I guess if you
All
don't
about-
push, you...
It's like Bruce Lee. It's all about the footwork. You just gotta watch the feet.
Jeet Kune Do. Is that what it was?
Yes.
My phone is not getting any reception on our green screen.
Oh!
Alright, I'm gonna run. And I can just wait for people all day. Come on, fucking with that weak shit.
You're telling me to watch my language.
Well, now I'm playing.
Was it? It's like go.twitchtv.digitalclips.dev. I think.
If you know it by... Remember when you had to actually know, like, websites and you'd, like, list them out with the slashes and everything because no one could find anything other... Now you just type random words into Google and everything appears.
There's nothing convenient about trying to share your Twitch stream, Earl, while you're on a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, there. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't help if it's in the chat, too.
Digital Clips Dev, all one word.
Ah.
Okay, good.
Oh, you got an extra one.
Thank you.
Take a photo of that and
Yeah.
then just tweet that
Tweet
out.
this out.
I can't find what you said, Father.
Oh, you just got Russo.
Oh shit!
Oh!
I stopped.
Oh, wait, where are you? Oh, you didn't even make it into the palace.
I stopped.
Oh.
I stopped.
You got
You know what?
face planted.
Yeah, Tom, go ahead. You know, you should try again, and maybe this time don't be so anxious and, you know.
Trying to close the deal.
You said there was a...
You get burned if you try too hard.
There's a story.
What's that thing about, like,
I
stop
did
talking
hope
when you're already locked into the deal? Was that there's a story? Tell
Well,
me.
he looks like he's climbing up a cliff at the beginning.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
but
high
when
atop
it's
the
loading-
craggy cliff.
Yeah, high atop a craggy cliff is like there's a story.
Oh,
that
I missed
scrolls
the
up.
scroll.
Yeah,
Okay.
we skipped past
Yeah,
it.
track mode.
And then there's a castle that shows you on the mountain that.
I saw the castle, okay.
Yeah. And so you're scaling the cliff side to get to the castle on the island.
Ah.
And one of the funniest kind of animated GIFs that's out there.
That was the DLC if I had bought that
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
the cliff climbing.
But one of the funniest animated GIFs or GIFs or whatever out there is like somebody posted like you just climbing up on the edge there at the beginning of the game.
Right.
The game starts and accidentally walking backwards and falling off. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of life in general,
Yeah.
how that works, but
Will the game let you walk off the cliff?
it will.
Oh,
You
no.
just fall backwards and go to your death and it's game over. Right at the very beginning. And the number of people who probably did that, they started the game.
See, if it was Mario, there'd be a power moon down there.
Oh, of course. And you'd bounce back up.
Yep, yeah.
Like Donkey Kong style.
Oh, get me a pizza.
It just auto-corrected Karateka to Mattel on my phone.
So wrong. Not the-
Karateka
not the-
now live streaming.
I can smell your ginger ale.
Oh, yeah.
Smells ginger
Good-
ale. Is that a
good ginger ale.
euphemism? I smell your ginger ale.
So when you were in that room, Mike, which
Yeah.
Tom may never get to,
Yeah, probably not.
What?
was that it? Like, if you would beat that guy, would you
So
won?
he would attack me, and I.
Hey, don't ruin the ending.
Well, let's give it a few more minutes.
Okay.
We'll talk about this because like if I play in a little bit, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm gonna kill the Smurf and then I'm gonna keep going.
You don't like to keep going. Like that was the funny thing about the last time you played is like you didn't want to keep going. You're like I'm just gonna stand here and wait for guys, and then we decided not to. Oh, there it is. You just got Russo. There we go. I'm gonna tweet this out.
You gotta
Join
do it
us.
Now whenever he wins, Jeff.
Alright, I'm just gonna stand right here ready. If anyone can hear it.
You guys can't see, but Jeff is off camera with his
Okay.
Alright, so we're gonna have to
Providing
kill this guy extra fast.
support.
Is that what you're saying?
You get Jeff a chair and he can sit behind and just play it right in Tom's ear.
Oh, yeah, I did all this work trying to get this tweet out, and I could just retweeted what Jeff just put on Digital Face.
Ah. Yeah.
You really feel the love in the room.
Of course, I don't have to do this too long.
Yeah, just already getting uncomfortable. It's like, oh, it's just taking forever for me to do a successful thing for Tom.
Did you see that was like 6 unanswered kicks to the face?
Mm-hmm.
8, 9. Okay, I'll give him that one. Oh shit.
There's 2 unanswered kicks in the face.
Yeah.
That's the Karateka Supreme move right here.
Nice. We need a Russo
We need a good,
emoji.
yeah,
for-
we need our soundboard to call this like.
Now, if you were really good at Karateka, you could push guys back before
Yeah.
you kill them. You can,
Exactly,
I
you
can,
corner them over to the side, and
I
then,
can, I can push this guy back through this.
and it's
door.
like putting them against the ropes essentially,
Yeah.
because like then you can just really
So you step back like as they're kicking,
Yeah.
and then they.
you force them back, and then
Yeah, see,
it
like this.
prevents other people from spawning because you're at the trigger point for the next level too.
He's kind of stuck right there. He can't really do much.
Oh, maybe that's what the gate was for too, right? To like keep you from playing that
Yeah,
game,
that guy couldn't like get it.
right? Because if you were just standing under the gate when they.
Yeah.
Now you have to fight without the art of fighting without seeing your opponent.
Based purely on sound. Kick with your mind.
I don't know, Jeff. Your arm's gonna get tired waiting to.
I don't think it's
Here
happening.
we go. Here we go. Here we go. You got it.
Nice.
Is he even there? Because I couldn't even see him at the end.
I
So
know.
now it's loading.
I killed him with my mind.
Oh, you use your mind? What's that? Dark City? That was a
There's the
weird
problem.
movie.
You gotta use
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
look at that. Hope.
Yes.
That's cool. She's still sitting down though.
Obama's coming, baby.
Oh,
We were talking this week on the walk
but you're pretty orange, Tom.
how it'd be awesome to have a system
true.
that had like a limited palette
Oh yeah.
that was still modern. So like it had all these like high power ability things, but had some really constructed constraints, so that all the games that released like had a look.
Yeah.
Because it feels like now everything kind of ends up having a look, but that look is either just Unity kind of generic
Yeah.
or Unreal generic.
Well, that was
But
like
being
that was
able
the
to
promise of
control-
our game we were pitching. That,
Right.
That game that we can't talk about really, but like, but yeah, the promise in there was that you have a number of limited game systems that we would build games into that had
Sure.
that forced limitation. It's kind of like what we do with IDAR with the character creator too. It's like
Yeah.
you have this forced limit, but you can still do so much with it. I
Right.
love that stuff.
Yeah, and someone's. I think it was someone Tom and I were talking to, BizDev, and he was saying, suggesting Atari could have done that, where they could have released almost like a Jax type, high-end system that like everything that comes out on it has this like
Yeah.
look, you are so people can make games for it, but it's like the constraints prevent it,
Yeah.
anything going beyond this space.
Well, it's kind of like what people are doing with pixel art right now, right?
Yeah,
So it's like-
absolutely. Like it. I mean, it's
quick
very
to
what
produce,
people want.
but it's also very hard to produce really good stuff.
Yes.
And so it still requires. Oh, watch it, Tom, watch it.
Get out of my face, bird.
Oh, if you would have kicked low, you would have had him.
Is he gonna? Oh, he doesn't have to fight the bird and this dude.
You can. Sometimes you do. Like the bird will always come out while the dudes are coming. Like if you timed it just right, the dude would come out trying to kick you, and the bird would be attacking, which really sucks.
I see.
Or if you timed it just wrong, is a better way to put it. Oh, you,
Nice, Tom.
Just knock another one down, man.
Since Karateka came out following the crash, I remember it being important for demonstrating the value of computers for games beyond the console.
that's true. That's just as the crash was happening. Here's Karateka showing that like you can have way bigger, more impressive experiences on a home computer, and gaming was like kind of taking shape on computers. Because at the time, arcade games, consoles had the very Twitch action sort of thing, and people didn't really understand a lot of like what computers could offer as far as gaming. That's why adventure games and all stuff kind of came to be on PCs. And so now you're looking at like Apple having and Commodore stuff having action games like this, and even more impressive action games coming out in like the Commodore 64 and stuff, and Atari 800. What like a lot of people were asking themselves like, why would you even need a console when these games systems could do the same thing? And in fact, the Atari 5200 was an Atari 800. They just called it the 5200, put some weird wonky controllers in the box. At the end of the day, it was the exact same system pretty much, with a few memory location swaps. So now that's a really good statement made there, because that's exactly what was going on here. People are looking at this going like, oh man, computers can deliver a way more like cinematic experience or exciting experience than a console.
I got stolen. You just got Russo.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm over here texting. So
You just got knocked Bauer.
Now, it seemed like the challenge was picking winners, right? Like, so
Yeah.
As a developer, you didn't know there were so many, like, kind of personal computers coming out. It seemed like everyone was trying to figure out which ones they wanted to put their energy to.
Yeah, and that's why the price war really mattered a lot, too, because the Apple II was a very expensive computer, and then the Commodore 64 and the Atari 800 come along. Commodore 64 was very inexpensive.
Right. No one's been reading the feed since I've been playing it.
I know, but like, who's it that, it's hard to read that green, but the person who made the statement about the Karateka coming out following the crash, he was talking about he didn't know about the 5200, but like that was the thing, right? So a lot of people were looking at the 5200, which actually cost more than the Atari 800 at the time when it came out. Yeah, it was an Atari 800, and there was somebody who was, because there was a lot of cracked games at the time, people were trading games and stuff, and there was this guy, I remember the name, when we load the games, it was called Glenn the 5200 Man, was his name, was like his handle. And he would take 5200 games, and he would convert them, there were just a few things you had to do, and convert them to Atari 800. So it was kind of weird, because Atari, trying to get rid of the stigma of the 5200 being an Atari 800, actually made different versions of Centipede, Moon Patrol, and all these games for the 5200. And the reason for it was that they wanted to differentiate it so people thought the 5200 was a different system. But they just worked on all the same things. So Centipede on the 5200 is way better than the one on the Atari 800. But somebody ported it to the Atari 800.
Anyways,
because it was just really fast and quick and easy to do it. But Karateka, I think the fastest version that's
Stand up, baby. Stand up. I'm coming.
It's still got the integrity of this original vision. It's probably the Atari 800 version.
Okay.
Because you can see how slow this gets when it has to draw a lot or when things scroll. The Atari 800 was a bit faster. The Commodore 64 was probably the slowest version because it was not using sprites. Because this game was a bitmap-based game, so it's redrawing pixels every single time and in a giant bitmap. And the Commodore 64 has sprites, but the way they ported it, I guess they ported the code as closely as possible. So they created a bitmap drawing version of it as well on the Commodore 64, when actually putting it into sprites would have been a lot faster. In the Atari 800, I don't know I think their blitz were just faster on that, so I think they kept it the same way. I don't think they used sprites either. If they had just switched over to trying to use sprites and doing some sort of buffering for the frames or anything like that, and everything, it would have been a lot faster. But I don't know if that would help the game, because the game, if we unthrottle this right now and play it as fast as it could possibly go, or even try to get it at 60, it's unplayable. It'll just die instantly.
Sure.
So it's relying on this speed and the slow draw to make the game playable.
Well, it's weird. When I first walked in, I thought it felt like the emulation was running slow. I thought it was like, oh man, is it struggling? But
yeah, no, it's like the Apple II just struggled to do anything.
Yeah. And then Mechner knew that, and so he built.
Exactly. A lot of these old games weren't trying to do like wait for vertical sync or anything like
right.
that. They were just drawing as fast as they humanly could, as fast as they could, and that was as good as they could get. And so the idea that there could be a faster processor later was not even on in his mind.
Sure. Well, as I've watched it, the kind of methodicalness actually really plays well into the theming of two guys.
And it plays well into just the theory of martial arts.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So it's like anticipate their moves and do all stuff. It's like, and Jordan was taking martial arts, so he knew a lot of the principles and stuff too. So it's like, what I love about reading his books about the making of Karateka and Prince of Persia, he also created Prince of Persia, for those who don't know. And you can see a lot of similarities, especially in the animation and all that stuff and the character designs. He brought so much into the world. There's so much that he thought about, but you don't really necessarily see it on the screen, but it's informing everything that happens. So the stance and everything like that, all stuff's very accurate to what it should be.
So you looked this up. This is like 84, or did someone else?
Oh yeah, let me look it up.
I think someone might have done.
They may have
it.
said it in there probably, but
I wasn't sure if they were saying the release of this or if that was.
Karateka.
Here's Johnny. Get back.
Come on, Google. 84.
84. And then Prince of Persia was how long after this, you think?
It was 2 years later.
Just a couple years.
Yeah. He was working on Prince of Persia or at least he was running into a lot. This guy named Ed Hobbs who was working on a game called Castles of Dr. Creep, which is one of Kevin and my favorite games to talk about. And so
Did you guys get to play that yet?
we didn't play it on the stream yet. And I've got the Steam version. So the original guy created the Steam version of the game, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
So Steam achievements and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
you guys talk about Dr. Creep all the time.
We do. It's a great puzzle, two-player puzzle game, and the door in Dr. Creep are these like kind of chomping doors that come down, and like that inspired Jordan and Prince of Persia to do the same thing in there and all kind of stuff. And the perspectives are similar and all stuff. So it's amazing how much game creators at the time.
Well, when you say it, I can see like this and Dr. Creep kind of smashed together.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia is like a lot of traversing these levels, and they're much more big exploration.
Yep.
But it still has this kind of very
it's kind
cinematic
of a nice
look.
hybrid.
Yep.
There's a lot more puzzles in Prince of Persia. This is just fighting.
Right.
And Prince of Persia has the fighting. The sword fighting is almost equivalent to the fighting in here.
Yep. Yeah, you get into those back and forth. Yep.
Down 3 triangles.
Yeah, you might want to pace yourself, Tom.
Yep.
If you pace yourself and actually get a little bit further, it allows us to pace ourselves on the rips.
Yeah.
It's really hard to come up with burns when you've used everything you possibly could in the book.
Well, here's the thing. I just keep killing these guys so quick, and you don't have time.
Yeah.
Exactly. But look how much health he's already gained back, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You got faith in you, Tom.
What?
I got faith in you.
Thank you, Bud.
So are the enemies like getting more advanced, or is it more just the fact that you have to have the
Clearly
stamina to continue?
They're getting more triangles. So
Yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest way that they level up is with health.
They just have longer health bars.
And there is aggressiveness that they have, and I think ramps up a little bit.
Right.
But there's really not much
More of
to play with.
endurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, don't make mistakes for this
exactly.
they usually don't throw more than 2 kick combos as well. So like you can kind of move in quicker, and then.
long. Right.
But there are guys that have 3 kick combos. I think it's like the last guy.
Oh, Tom's just going for it. Oh, it's giving you a bunch of health. Oh, man,
Bird's
watch
coming.
out.
Back up. Yeah, once you start seeing your health go up, you know the bird's coming.
It's like, take this.
There we go.
Nice.
That was a good hit.
1 down.
Give yourself time. Go for it. Oh,
There we go, the second kick.
Mid kick.
Oh,
shit.
what are you doing?
Oh, what
Don't
was
move,
that?
don't move.
Oh. Mid kick. Triple combo.
Yeah.
High kick. Come on. Boom.
Oh, too late.
Oh.
The restricted mobility was later used with Resident Evil. It's funny because like Resident Evil, at one point we were looking at porting that game, and I was able to look into the source code of that game. And there's like-
No look.
I did it. I killed him with the no look.
No
Good.
look kill.
Resident Evil is built on a lot of Super Nintendo game logic.
I didn't think I was gonna pull that off, actually.
The way that the rooms
Oh, I
were
should
laid
go.
out worked very tile-based,
Oh.
like 2D based. So
Right.
that tank control was intentional because you're basically playing on a 2D grid, and they had solid things in there. So if I recall correctly, I think it was Goof Troop logic in Resident Evil, which makes a lot of sense because Shinji Mikami.
You just said it's Goof Troop.
Yep.
Hey, screw you, Ian,
when-
for
But Shinji
calling me a
Mikami,
button
he's
masher.
right. He's absolutely right because Shinji Mikami worked on Goof Troop as well as Resident Evil.
On Goof Troop.
Yeah, and like those guys generally work together
Yeah.
on their stuff. So it's kind of weird when you think of like Resident Evil and Goof Troop not possibly having some sort of
Yeah, I was just
relation.
saying, I don't even.
Oh, here goes Akuma. This is an important part.
All right, just focus.
This is the part you
Tom.
didn't get to see because Mike died.
Oh, whatever.
When you charge through like a.
Say all you want. I posted a screenshot of the end credits yesterday. So
Who just got the first hits on Akuma?
Akuma does look pretty cool. Like that, it's amazing. You've been looking at all these very generic looking guys, and it's
They
really
do,
makes
yeah.
Because he's actually not much harder than any of the other guys.
He does have triple kick combos though.
Yeah, and he's just more intimidating looking. Really,
He is very intimidating looking.
it's the shoulder pads.
He's got those cool leg stripes. That skirt design. DNA strand running down the middle of him.
That's right. As Ian pointed out, and Adam, they're agreeable. There's no way to show a pic of the end credits without actually taking a real picture. There's no way to show that otherwise.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You totally had to have made it to the end. It was proof.
Hey, that's how you got Activision patches.
Exactly. I love sending away for Activision patches.
Oh, man.
And I thought I was like the greatest gamer in the world because I remember like I sat there and played Laser Blast all day to get the high score, and like sitting, I'm like, I'm the best. I got my patch on, and then like believe it or not, like almost every kid who even owned Laser Blast had the patch too, and it's like, oh come on! Like turns out that game is super easy for everybody.
It was a patch giveaway
Laser
system.
Blast
Pretty
was
much.
it was just about learning the rhythm of the blast.
Yeah, it was a very rhythmic game
Yeah.
for sure.
Activision had this thing where if you took a picture of a certain high score or whatever, and you send it to them, they'd send you a patch.
So was it one of those like the box top things where you sent like 5 like box top and $18 for shipping and handling,
Nope.
and then you got a patch? They just gave you a free patch.
Free patch. It was all marketing because you'd wear the patch
Wow.
about the game, and you had to get a certain high score, so you send in a photo of your
Yeah.
high score with you in the picture,
Man.
ideally.
It was the original achievements, Glenn.
Yeah.
The original achievements.
And they would send you a
They
patch.
had that.
All right,
awesome
we're getting
Activision
started on
card.
that.
It's the coolest thing ever because like I remember like Star Master had the Star Master patch you would get. There we go. Just laid out. Look, he's just like he went down like who was that guy, that MMA guy that went down like the first round?
I've never watched that.
Okay. Anyways,
Remember when Norm tried to tell
run
me?
into her arms,
Run
don't
into arms.
combat.
Yep.
Although it would have been
what?
awesome, Tom, if you just went up to combat.
Wait, could you have kicked her?
If you went in a combat stance, she would have killed you.
No.
It's
Yeah.
amazing how much games parallel my life.
So just this morning.
Oh, there we go. There's the.
Wait, so your friends like work on a girl and then you swoop in? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And so this adventure ends. The evil Akuma lies vanquished. The beautiful Mariko safe in my arms. For the first time in my arms. For the first time in memory, the country basks in the sunlight of peace. But beware, for the Karateka, there is always a next time.
Would that be Karateka 2?
You know what we should do? We should talk to Vector and figure out if we can just go ahead and make a sequel on the Apple II.
Right, just
Do it all.
Karateka next
yeah.
time.
It's all done the same way, so you can have a true sequel.
But you play Akuma who's trying to come back and get revenge.
Oh, the story of Akuma. What leads
Yeah.
up to here? And it's got to be one of those turn the table stories
Right.
where it's like, oh, it turns out like Mariko is just his
Ian.
lost sister.
Right,
And-
he's just trying to protect her from
And
this
he's
weird...
protecting her from this weird guy
Western
here.
invader.
Yeah, exactly. Who looks like Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you could see two sides of this story.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty good. See? Then you
Twist.
feel bad, and then you'd be like, I'm never playing this
Twist.
game again. I don't like playing bad guys.
I do.
Well, of course you do.
I love this end music.
It is pretty good.
I
Wouldn't
didn't
play
even notice
well.
any sound before this, so this is it.
That
got epic.
it's a one tone speaker in the Apple.
Ah.
And you can do. I mean, it's pretty fancy for that.
This was also quite possibly the best font in like Apple II game history too. Like
It is pretty amazing.
No,
That's what you were saying before.
Yeah. Yep.
Like this is a better font than a font we put in one of our recent games. I'm not going to talk about.
Tom's favorite font?
In the history of fighting games, this is one of the best fonts ever.
True.
In the history of playing. The Karateka font goes down.
Goes down. It's one of the greatest fonts. All right. So what should we play next? What's the next Apple II game we should play? How about Hard Hat Mac?
Oh yeah.
Hard Hat Mac.
On that Mac.
Let's do that. Okay, we're gonna go for a timeout here really quick. Maybe do some bathroom breaks stuff. Come back in just a couple minutes, and we're gonna have
5 minutes.
5 minutes. We'll have Hard Hat Mac on the flip side.
I'm
Right.
I am a little tired because I just wasted like 12 dudes.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe more.
You have to go to the bathroom. You just
Yeah.
don't waste 12
I
dudes like
wasted
that.
12 dudes, their boss, and the boss's bird.
Yeah, exactly.